Now, serious shit.
Okay.
Dude. Well, not that serious. But tickets, I can't take my kids to a baseball game. There's a money laundering scheme going on with your tax dollars, and both Republican and Democrat elites are participating. It's a fucking money laundering scheme, dude. No one's bitching about that. There are some things that are actually really fucking important. It's not taking food out of your motherfucking mouth. But when the government is money laundering your tax money, they are taking your motherfucking money, dude. Did you know he came out with a cologne? He's actually selling a real cologne called Fight, Fight, Fight. I understand people being upset with healthcare and insurance companies. Okay, I totally get it. On the list, they're one of the, if they're not the worst one, I don't know who's worse. Okay, and that's an issue. What makes you a shitty motherfucking human being is cheering on the fact that he was murdered. People protest the wrong shit, dude.
Yeah.
They protest the wrong shit. Stop doing the shit that's not motherfucking working. And then when you try it a second and third time to make that work and it doesn't work, you keep going after that. That's insanity. Well, I disagree with this person on abortion. So even though I agree with this person on what we should be doing for this provision of healthcare, I'm going to be against it because I'm against abortion. If we focus on the positive stuff where we agree and just work together, like, come on in. I said there would be riots. And I'd be happy to be wrong and there not be riots. Don't get me wrong. I don't want there to be riots. Or there might be riots for a whole nother reason. Doesn't end well unless it ends. They never believe me. Yeah, I would never drop the ball. I know I'm just report the fucking with the defense. I don't care what a critic got to say. I got them picking up the pieces. That mean you really playing with your life. I'm about to come and run it all. Just the motherfucking jump. Just go. Let's fucking go. This is the Outlaw Apostle Podcast. I am your host, Troy Neff. I'm the fucking guy. And we have another fucking guy here.
Falling over.
Don't die over there, man. Don't flip over on me, man. I need you for about 90 minutes.
Go fall over afterwards, right?
Yeah, then, you know, hey.
How you been doing, man?
Chase, man, I gotta tell you, brother. When people say, hey, how you doing? You know, or like they're just, hey, have a good week, or I'll say, have a good week, have a good day, you know, because I communicate with so many people every day.
Yeah.
You know what I want? I just want another week like last week. Oh, that was such a great week, man. You know, it started with a whim, you know, that we went to a concert that we didn't have real, Zach Bryan, that we didn't have real expectations, and we had a great time.
Yeah.
That was on a Tuesday, right?
Just a random ass Tuesday.
Just a random ass Tuesday, man. You can't beat that. And then Friday we went to Mastro's Ocean Club.
Okay. How was that?
Okay. Phenomenal. Just great. Just the atmosphere and just everything. It was just really, really good. Saturday, we went to Nobu, and I don't know what's fucking going on with Open Table app, but I had booked it, and then in the morning, it didn't show that I had a reservation. I'm pissed, dude, because this has happened more than once, where like somehow it gets canceled, but not by me. Because it's like I booked it, and they keep a history of everything. I don't have a history of booking and not showing up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That just doesn't
Like
happen.
Yeah.
But then they always ask you, and they actually had asked me the previous day, and I actually had a screenshot of it, or I still had a text where I responded, yeah, I'm going to be there, right?
They still canceled it?
They canceled it. So I finally, and then this, like, if you're going to have a machine, you know, a recording and stuff, when you would call, so like they're not open early, you know. I think they're open like at 5:30. But the way the machine sounded, it didn't make it sound like you couldn't call before that.
Mm-hmm.
But nobody was answering. Nobody answered till
Yeah.
after 5:30. Well, put that in your fucking message too. It's just good because, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I
yeah.
love Nobu. Trust me, I just love Nobu. So
So it's Nobu's specific app.
no, it's open table. But it has happened with our Nobu reservation more than once. I'm
Gotcha.
like,
Okay.
what's going on here? So because I was able to rebook it, but for a later time, I didn't want the later time.
Yeah. You had it booked for a
I
specific
had
time
it booked
for a
for
specific
7:30.
reason, yeah.
Usually, you know, we're between 7 and 8 and stuff, you know.
Okay.
And when we're doing better, we got to write it down because somebody gave me their information. One of the waiters gave me their info when we were at Bourbon Steak, and I didn't put it in my phone. Now I don't have it. And he gave it to me specifically so that, like, I can't get a reservation right now at Bourbon Steak.
Oh, gotcha.
So that I can go through a manager, I can go through an employee, because you know, they want to take care of me because I tip well.
Yeah.
You know, I take care of them, you know, like that, like, yeah. Like, I think our bill was, one of them was like $4.90 something. And then my tip was $150, 30%. That's, you know.
Solid tip.
Yeah.
Very solid
Good.
tip.
Yeah, it should be. And I took care of the valet too. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But the
yeah.
service was good. The food was good. And that was 2 nights in a row, man. Good eats, right? So Nobu, though, I really got to talk about Nobu just
Okay.
for a second because it's so fucking phenomenal. And there's not many things I actually like on their menu because I wish I've said it before that I like sushi, but I don't, you know, and that's the big thing there. But they have an appetizer that I love.
Okay.
That's so incredible, and it's the lobster taco bites. They're literally this big. Okay, I put a picture on my Facebook, so why don't you put, because they are crazy, man. Like really, really crazy. And because last time we were there, I ordered them and I ordered more. So like I ordered 4 and then I ordered 4 more. And Dawn doesn't like lobster, so I got Dawn the Wagyu lobster bites, right?
Okay. So they have, is it steak and lobster at the same time, or?
It's separate. They have 2 different lobster bites. Wagyu,
okay,
it's not the meat and the lobster on one. Dude, you couldn't hold it. They're not, they're just lobster bites.
Yeah.
But the the lobster taco bites, but the lobster ones are $25 a piece. So 8 of them, that's $200 for bites.
You said 2?
Huh?
For 2 of them?
No, a piece.
A piece.
$25 a piece. And I ordered 8 of them. And you've gone to dinner with me.
No,
you should
I
be
have
that
for
surprised.
sure. No, I'm more surprised that it's per. I thought at least they would give you a pair for 25. You know?
No. Nope. And then the Wagyu ones, I think, are 18.
I mean,
So
but it's still a bite.
Right.
Yeah, no, I get that.
So that's $72. So $272 for appetizers.
That's some pretty good eating right there.
That's some pretty good eating, man. That's some pretty good eating. And and then we had a pretty basic salad that they have. Yeah, keep going down. That was just another post. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. Yeah, show people that. Look at that picture. Yeah, that picture's good too. Oh, look at those things, dude.
It's sitting on
So I
onion?
can, like, for Dawn, she's probably eating it in 2 bites. But I got
Two?
a big mouth.
Oh,
I got a
that's
big mouth. I'm
it's
just
all in one.
the
Oh,
whole
yeah.
thing. Oh, man. Oh, that dude.
That a
That was.
lobster?
I didn't take a picture of my steak, which was fantastic, but this was lobster. I think I have it in the description. Go to the description of my Facebook. Tempura, lobster tempura,
Okay.
and that's the style, and that's a half lobster.
Yeah.
Though is what, and they normally do whole lobster, but he did half lobster for me. and it's fried, obviously, which I'm not saying is healthy, but damn, that shit
I was
was
about to say
fucking
that is good.
unbelievable, dude. With the sweet and sour, and I'm not a sweet and sour guy
Mhm.
because I'm very, very basic when it comes to
The sauces.
Japanese or Chinese food and
Gotcha.
that kind of stuff. But this was incredible, just incredible.
I mean,
Like,
it looks
I'm
delicious.
so glad that the waiter suggested this. Like, that's eating like a king, brother.
You're not wrong on that.
Yeah, that was beautiful.
Anything where the lobster's still sitting there with the head on, a little bit of
Hot and-
fanciness.
that was definitely some fancy ass shit, dude. But they took care of me. They did. They couldn't get me 7:30, but they got me 7:45.
Pretty,
And that was
pretty
good.
close right there.
That was pretty good. And then Sunday we went to the Cardinals game
Okay. How was that?
against the Seahawks. There are a lot of motherfucking Seahawk people, man. A lot of it's got to be people that move here, you know, like Brendan, who works for me, like Washington or from Washington,
A lot.
or
Weirdly enough, we have a lot of Seahawks fans in Arizona.
a lot,
A lot,
dude.
yes.
Like, it was ridiculous. And then all of them doing their chant, you know, Seahawks. It doesn't even sound like Seahawks. It just sounds like
I've
this
never heard the
bird
chant.
chirping chant thing they do. And they were loud, man. And it was a good competitive game. It was a game that the Cardinals could have won,
Mhm.
but just
They
just
always seem
didn't,
to
and
struggle
they-
against the Seahawks. If
yeah,
remember,
I think they've lost twice to them in the last 3 weeks or something like that. But we're sitting there watching the game,
Yeah.
and we're watching Pittsburgh.
It's like on the phone.
Yeah. And Pittsburgh played a great game,
Uh-huh.
you know, won again. But it was weird start times. I don't know. So that's why we had I
Okay.
had that, you know.
Just waiting on the
Yeah, because I have
YouTube. TV.
YouTube and I have the season ticket, but that's also on my phone, so I can watch any game anywhere,
Yeah,
anytime,
anytime.
which is a beautiful thing. And worth every penny. I don't care what it costs. I want it. And that's what we do. And Dawn, because she's into it. But click on my bets there. You see the bets on those pictures on the left-hand side. There you go. Yeah. So here's what I did. I made some, you could see the parlay down there where I bet 50, paid out 197. And then I bet on those as individual games too. Just in case
Gotcha.
the
Just in
parlay
case.
thing didn't work out, you know.
Yeah.
And all totaled, see, and then I did a 3-game one.
That one paid out pretty well.
Yeah, like all totaled, it paid out like $900 and some dollars. I don't know how much I bet for that. It's probably around 400 or so I put up to win the 900 to get
doubling
900
your
back
money.
in
Nice.
money.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
this
it's
one
like
was a
I
good
just
one.
hit like good because Saturday was not good in college football. I did not do good, but I mean it was hit and miss and all over. But I've been killing on hockey bets too.
Hockey.
Hockey, man.
I
I've
still
got
find
a
that really
system,
funny.
man. I got a system. It's working right now. It's working a little bit in the NBA.
Yeah.
I win some of my NBA bets, but the hockey, and they hit last night. So now my account is finally up because I told you, I put 500 in, I lost it. Put 500 in, I lost it. Put 500 in. And so I have $1,500 invested in this account. And since I haven't put in another penny in this year, and I've been back and forth all over the place, almost bankrupt again to around 2,000 and then back down. And now I'm at over 2,400.
So you're now in the positive, a pretty healthy positive.
Yes. Feels good.
It feels
You,
good.
you know, but now my goal is something else. So we're at the game, right? And I don't know why, but I just decided that Dawn and I are going to become, well, I put a down payment on it. We are going to be season ticket holders for the Arizona Cardinals.
Congratulations, man. That's pretty
Yeah.
dope. That's actually
Yeah.
really
In
dope.
the club section.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. So
That's a
you
good section. If you're not in the suite, the next best to suites is the club section.
plan on going to each game?
Most
games. Yeah.
and if not, but we have a good time. We've been to a bunch of games, and I just started to add up how many games we've been to and what I'm paying buying these tickets through,
Like Ticketmaster, or whatever it
Ticketmaster and
is.
shit. And I'm like, fuck, why don't I just get season tickets?
You're gonna pay almost the same amount.
Yeah. And if we get seats where we're currently at, which that's still an option, but nothing was open, but I'm on a list that we'll decide if we want to do that and open and be in the lower bowl,
Okay.
you know? Because I think I paid around $250 a ticket, which was really reasonable. The other ones I found a good pair on there at around the 40-yard line at row 16.
Wow.
Which is good. Like usually you have to be around row 30 for that. So $250. Then you got the stupid fees. Hate the fucking fees. But yeah. But then you're still fighting. You're still fighting for a bathroom spot and stuff. In the club section, you're not fighting to go to the bathroom. You want to go to the bathroom? Go to the fucking bathroom. You just there's
honestly like
there's not a bunch of people.
To be honest with you.
Fuck yes.
Like being able to not have to worry about.
You know
like,
what
other
the
people and
difference
stuff
is?
Like that.
It's the difference between coach and first class.
Yeah.
I'm just it is.
Honestly.
And I'm a first class kind of guy now. So yeah, we did that. And I'm winning, so that's good. We did that. What else? We yeah, just a bunch of just a good week.
A good weekend.
Just
a lot of good food, a lot of good events.
Did a bunch of stuff, good food, just
winning good bets as well.
yes. How can you ask for more than that? Now, serious shit.
Okay.
Dude. Well, we're starting to see a little bit of movement, and I can't thank you enough. I've been posting around my various social media. Please check out the other social media channels that we're on. Follow, friend, share. You can much easier to contact me than to contact me on YouTube for sure. But please do that. And the subscriptions are going up because I've been asking for people just to subscribe, for if you're somebody who listens, to not only subscribe yourself, which you probably have, but to get somebody else to do it. And I know that's a big ask, but it's one that's appreciated and it's going to make a difference. And we'll let you know when, we'll share that with you. You could participate in the growth in this and be a part of the family. So we'll share that with you when we see that changes, and with the analytics makes a difference for us and is helping this program get out there more. But we can't do it without you, and we appreciate you. I'm the fucking guy. Well, not that serious. We're talking about sports and things. Let's kind of stick with sports for a minute.
Okay.
Click on my post right there with Zelensky and Biden. So you're kind of a baseball guy.
Yeah.
I'd say. Juan Soto.
Okay. Yeah.
775 million. 15 years.
Yeah.
Something like that. And people don't even know how to add. The $75 million
contract
bonus, or
the
upfront,
bonus.
the cash up front,
yeah.
That's part of the 775. That's not in addition to. But people like, nobody's worth that. And like, who do you want to get the money? Obviously, that billionaire owner thinks it's worth it. Because look, as far, here's what I think kind of happened in that people pursuing him because there's more. Look, there was more than one team. It wasn't just the Yankees and the Mets making offers. It sounded like there were 4 or 5 teams that threw their hat in the ring and threw out offers.
Like just a case.
4 or 5. Yeah, why not? See, hey, what can we do? And so they were all willing to pay a shit ton of money.
Yeah.
Which the only thing I don't understand is the dude's a 280 hitter.
He's honestly not that. I mean, defensively, I guess he's pretty consistent, but I don't know. For my opinion, it's kind of hard to be not consistent as a center outfielder. I don't know if that's just me, but
I don't know, man. Like when I was a kid, Rod Carew. These are Hall of Famers that you don't even know.
Gotcha.
Okay, but they're Hall of Famers.
Gotcha.
Okay, Rod Carew, George Brett, played for Kansas City Royals. These guys are legendary hitters.
Mm-hmm.
I can't imagine what they would be paid today. But those guys regularly clocked over 300. Like that was the mark. When I was a kid growing up in baseball,
it was 300.
You were a good hitter at 300.
Yeah.
Now you're 240, you're getting 5-6 million. 240? The fuck you get? But look, if you get the money, get the money. I don't like I'm not mad somebody else is getting paid, man. Yeah. People mad about somebody else getting paid.
Because they're not the ones getting paid all that money.
No, because I'm so sick of this argument. But teachers, look, and I'll agree, we don't take care of our military people well. Yeah. We don't.
Yeah.
We can do better. We can do better.
A lot better.
Yeah, a lot better. Okay. But you're looking at 20, 25 in maybe payments when they first get in, and that's not counting the other benefits. I'm just talking about the cash.
Okay.
And maybe that could be doubled even at 50. You know, it should be.
It should be, yeah.
But you know what's not going to happen?
What's that?
You ain't paying 800,000 people $1 million a year. Okay, that ain't happening.
It's not happening, no.
Okay, it's not happening.
It's gonna fuck up the market, yeah.
Well, I've always said, you get paid on how difficult your job is.
Mm-hmm.
What are the qualifications to get in? They're not nothing, but they're not really high.
No, they just focused on what they were doing for so long that they became the best in the genre.
Well, I mean, but for it's not hard. People hate when I say this. Hate it. They go off on me, but I don't care. I've always said it, and I'll keep saying it. One of the easiest degrees to get is a teaching degree.
Yeah.
It's not hard. You just get a basic fucking degree, a 4-year degree.
4-year degree, yeah.
Just pass. Pass. You just have to pass. And then you have to do 9 months of the teacher shit. That's extra.
Like a specialized, like whatever.
Classroom stuff and all that stuff. That's all you have to do.
Yeah. I mean, my sister's a teacher, so.
And I'm not putting down teachers.
Yeah.
But it's no different than anything else that 20% of the teachers are the best teachers.
Yeah.
60% of the teachers are average. They're average, dude. It's everything in life. Car salesman. 20% of the car salesmen are good car salesmen. They make 80% of the money. 60%, not so good. They make 20% of the money.
Yeah.
Don't be mad. And then there's 20% of the teachers that suck and should be fired, and we can't fire them because of the unions and all that shit. But you get my point. But
no,
but the more people that can do your job potentially, the less value it has.
Yeah.
I mean, does an engineer that designs bridges, does he make more? Yeah, because fewer people can do that. Right?
Yeah.
How many CEOs does the company have? They only have one. They only have one. There's fewer people able and capable of doing the job. They make more.
Nice and simple. I mean,
well,
like,
even
realistically, yeah.
Dude, even, I mean, you talk actresses and actors. Do people realize the majority of them barely survive that are members of the Actors Guild? Barely survive, man. It's only the top
that actually make fully thrive with all the No, I mean, like you can apply that to anything. Like
that's my point.
Yeah. like music, like
Exactly. But
anything.
how many players you have on a baseball roster? Isn't it? It's under 30, isn't it?
24.
And how many total teams? I don't even know anymore. 26. And then, yeah, how many teams? 30.
Yeah.
So you're talking, somewhere around between 7 and 800,
Yeah.
between 7 and 800 people. And we have people that are from other countries. So that 7 or 800 people isn't just from 330 million in the United States. These are ones coming from Japan, coming from
Puerto Rico,
countries
Dominican Republic,
in
a lot of
South
the
America.
Latin,
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe
actually,
even Canada. I don't know. There might be a Canadian baseball player. We have Canadian teams, but I mean, I don't know how many players we
I was
have.
about to
But
say, I'm not sure how familiar they are.
but you know what I'm saying.
I get what
But
you're saying.
yeah, they're between 7 and 800 are able to get those few. That's why they pay what they do. And people complain. They're but tickets. I can't take my kids to a baseball game. Take them to see the Mud Hens. Mud Hens are a cheap ticket in Toledo. Okay, and
Yeah.
it's a good time. It's a good time. There's Muddy.
There's Muddy.
Yeah, Muddy. Yeah,
The mascot.
yeah.
Yeah.
The Mud Hens are a good time. They are a AAA franchise. It's a great stadium of the Detroit Tigers. So you'll even have occasions where somebody's rehabbing that is a Detroit Tiger that'll come
They'll go and
down
play.
and go see him. It's for the money, 12, 14, 15 bucks a ticket. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not more than a movie. Go to a Mud Hen game if you can.
It's
Like
like
it is.
do what you
Dude,
can.
here's the thing. The thing is this. I go to these things, and I
Mhm.
go to a lot of them.
Yeah.
I see a lot of families there. So somebody's able to afford it
Yeah.
and pay it. And it's not that the teams are setting like super high ticket prices. Okay.
I wouldn't be able to tell
It's
you.
way different than it was in the 80s, but it's not it's the resellers, dude. It's no different than a concert.
Yeah, honestly though, they ruin a lot of the.
It's the resellers.
Yeah.
It's not the team, man. The team obviously is leaving some money on the table because somebody is getting those tickets
All of
and
the
selling
tickets and then
them for
reselling them.
more than
Yeah.
what they paid for them.
Yeah.
Right? And somebody, me, is paying that price. And if I didn't, it's a good time for us. But you got to. But I choose to spend my money on that, and people can think what I spend on a dinner is
Mhm.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
You know what my comeback is? I think what you spend on fucking alcohol is ridiculous. I think and I've spent that money on alcohol
So you
because
understand.
I'm a recovering alcoholic,
Yeah.
so I know.
Yeah.
Or you're spending on your ounce of weed that you got.
Mhm.
Okay, I've done that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're okay with that, but you want to,
Be mad because you like
you
what you
want to
like.
be, you like what you. That's where you spend your money.
Yeah.
I spend my money on food and going to places that we enjoy. We may go to a bar to eat the Thirsty Lion, okay, and because we want to watch a game
Yeah.
and get some good food or whatever, but we're not drinking. But we'll go out to eat. That's what we spend our money on. You spend your money on what you want to spend it on.
Yeah.
But people just complaining and whining. And where does the teams get the money? The bulk of the money is not coming from ticket sales.
No, it's from jerseys and
Well,
like
number one
yeah.
is TV revenue, and it ain't close. And then some of them, I think they don't have to. I don't know what the exact deal is off the top of my head, but I think they get money in certain markets for doing regional shit that they get to keep that money. Like they get money nationally from, ESPN, who has a contract with Major League Baseball, but then there's like local shit too when they do that, and packages and how they get paid. And I don't know what the split is on that revenue, if they keep that all or if some of that goes to the split amongst all the teams. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I mean, obviously a New York team and an LA team can get more money regionally than the Milwaukee Brewers,
Yeah, because they just
right?
naturally have
So there's got to
a
be some
bigger of a
kind of
following.
split there, right? But it is what it is. But still, it's those deals which have gotten bigger. And think about it. What good is your basic networks now? The only thing they're good for is sports, dude. That is
Honestly,
it.
though.
And
But even
that's
that's
going
getting taken
away.
away. Yep.
That's going away because we've talked about it. The Steelers are playing on Netflix on Christmas.
That's crazy.
And let's see, Thursday night football is on Prime. And people can whine and bitch about this all they want, but this is the direction it's going. You pay for what you want, and you don't pay for what you don't want. If you don't want access to every NFL game, it's real easy. Don't watch it. Don't pay it.
Yeah.
It's not part of a package that you're required to pay, and it's jacking up the price of a package.
Yeah.
Right? I just, so I'm going to something serious. People are mad about that and have been posting all week about that on Facebook. My friend Tony that was on here, he even posted, but Tony's he's not like a sports fan.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. He likes to do shit himself. And I totally get it. And he tries to understand us. And I'm not including Tony in this when I talk about it. He's not necessarily bitching, but he tries to ask questions to get for his social media.
Gotcha.
He has a purpose behind it like I do.
Gotcha.
Okay. No, I'm talking other people just like, oh my God, just the post. Go back to my post on Zelensky and Biden. That's what we started with. Do you know how many people in my feed have posted about this besides me? And what I posted about is the fact that there's a money laundering scheme going on with your tax dollars being sent to Ukraine, and both Republican and Democrat elites are participating, which is why it continues and is so popular.
Yeah.
And people getting paid back here. That money goes over there, goes through, comes back here for consulting, for donations, for it's finding
Whatever
its
reason,
way
yeah.
to Boeing is in your district and they buy this from Boeing, and because you're supporting it and you're the rep that represents that district, Boeing is making contributions to you. It's a fucking money laundering scheme, dude. And I'm not the only, that's not news. A lot of people, no one's bitching about that. Bitch about my whole point of laying this all out is there are some things that are actually really fucking important.
Yeah.
And Juan Soto getting over 700 million, almost 800 million, ain't that fucking important. Whether he gets it or doesn't get it isn't keeping a single thing out of your pocket. It's not preventing you from getting
any more or any less.
Any money.
Yeah.
It's not preventing you from getting any money. It's not taking food out of your motherfucking mouth.
Yeah.
It's not. But when the government is money laundering your tax money, they are taking your motherfucking money, dude. And you don't have a say in it, and you're not mad. That money should be back in your pocket. That money should be fixing your community. That money should make your community safer for police. That money should be used to fix the border so that, again, safety and jobs. It's insane what people think about the economy and what's going to happen with the economy in the near future. Well, at least Democrats, anyways. Like, when you have people that are working off the books for less money, it's affecting the wages that you get paid. And if those people aren't available, your wages are going to go up. And maybe that's going to raise the cost of whatever it is,
Mm-hmm.
that service that's provided. Okay, that's just what it is. But that's how it's supposed to work.
Yeah.
So which do you want? Do you want wages to go up and people to be compensated? Or do you want cheap shit from China and cheap labor coming across the border? Which do you want? Because
Those are the options you're
those are
getting.
your options.
Yeah.
But this whole thing about the money laundering thing, like it's so maddening and so frustrating. And then dude, I don't know what the fuck they're doing. They are doing a bunch of crazy shit, and some of these motherfuckers should be investigated. And I'm with Trump. The Department of Justice should look into this. It should be up to them, and people be thrown in jail. How about this? Let me throw this by you, and you tell me if you're okay with it. Okay.
Okay.
So Iran had money in accounts that we had frozen. Okay. And they couldn't access it. When Biden got in, he let them access their money. By not letting them access their money, they were struggling. It was a good, it was a way to cripple them without going to war.
Gotcha.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay. So now they had money to further pursue, to give to other terrorist groups that they support.
Gotcha.
Hezbollah, Hamas, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Weapons, right? Like there were sanctions on them, hard sanctions, and with oil and everything. I mean, it was a good thing. Okay. Biden removed that. Here's what he just did. The Biden administration gave Iran $10 billion in sanctions relief just days after Trump won the election. So Iran has contributed to the attacks on Israel, and we support Israel and give Israel money. But now, by removing these sanctions, they're going to get $10 billion more that they can now use to support these. Dude, if that's not the dumbest fucked up shit in the motherfucking world.
And it's all because Trump won. So
Yeah.
they're trying to make it just harder for Trump once he gets into office.
Yeah, like a whole bunch of crazy shit like that they're trying to do.
Yeah, that's honestly all I've seen. Ever since Trump got elected, that's all I see. It's like
it's
the Democratic side is always they're in the process of just not necessarily like making it so Trump doesn't get into office. It's just when he does get into office, he's gonna have to deal with so many things that he's not gonna be able to get his agenda done.
I think thare wrong. I think they are way underestimating this dude. So then our friend Tom Homan, the border czar, that we like, that just says we'll just deport the whole family. I love that guy. So more people in different areas, some congressional, some, representatives, some mayors, some governors, as you already know, that are trying to make things more difficult. They're sanctuary cities and sanctuary states, right? And he just came back again and basically said, look, if you have a criminal in your jail, it's better for you to let us come into the jail and get them. Because I can send 2 people to come get them and remove them. But if you release them, now I got to send a small army of people to find them.
Yeah.
And when we find people like that, we're not necessarily high on our target list, but if we find them in the process, they're gone too, which is what you said you don't want. Well, if you don't want that, tell us and we'll come to the jail with 2 people. Don't tell us, we'll send 100 people and we'll get the guy we want plus 50 more. How does that work for you? Don't fuck with us.
Yeah.
But it's just like it. I definitely like him. I still like the fact that there's such. Well, obviously not everybody, and I'm still so happy that the liberals are in denial, but that still in general, there is a mood, and it's showing up in polls, that there is a mood that's starting to permeate through the country with expectations that, you know what, maybe for the first time, people are cautiously optimistic, but they are optimistic.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I mean, when you've been beat down so many times, when politicians have promised you things and not delivered so many times,
it's hard to
it's hard
think
to
the
have
other way.
faith in that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But they absolutely hate, like, Trump is white trash with money, and I fucking love it, dude. Did you know he came out with a cologne?
I did not know.
Yes. He's actually selling a real cologne called Fight, Fight, Fight. Oh, you got to click on that picture. No, left. Yeah. No, scroll down. Do you know who that is looking at him with that
This one?
yeah, with that look there? Yeah,
First
Jill
Lady
Biden.
Jill Biden.
Yeah. So right after this picture, which is very recent, this is at Notre Dame got reopened in France, So this was a big deal for that to be reopened. And so that's why they were there. But if you look, so they took that picture and they made it part of an ad for the cologne.
Okay.
That basically says, something about it smells so good, even your enemies can't resist you, or something.
What?
And using that with Joe Biden. Yeah, the fragrance line. Yeah. Oh my God, dude. That's just savage.
I feel genuinely no.
My apologies.
It's okay. That's just savage, man. Trump is a savage.
Line, alongside a photo of him with First Lady Jill Biden at the Notre Dame reopening.
Yeah, let it play. Turn it up.
Fragrance named Fight, Fight, Fight is a reference to his first words after the first assassination attempt against him. The cologne and perfume retail for $200 in bottles that feature Trump's autograph on the sides. Trump captioned the photo, "A fragrance your enemies can't resist," and features Jill Biden smiling in Trump's direction. It is the latest merchandise being endorsed by the Trump
They
family.
hate that,
During
like,
his first term,
that's
his main
beneath him.
investments were in
So
real.
you could kill that now. But yeah, how dare Trump do that? But dude, it's so funny.
I mean, that's hilarious. I'll be honest with
Come
you.
on, man. That's why we love him. That stuff is brilliant,
It's the
man.
most random thing in the world. I wonder what it smells like. I'm a big on cologne, so I'm actually kind of curious as to if it.
I'm
whether it smells
curious
good or
too.
not.
Yeah.
Wait,
That's funny shit, dude.
Is it? I don't know. That's funny to think. I can just think of it just being very light, like a very light kind of fragrance. I don't know why.
I don't know.
Or do you think it'd be a little more musky?
I think it would be comparable to Creed.
Okay.
Just because I know Trump.
Okay.
Look, if he does something, he's gonna do it.
He wants to do it right. He wants to make sure it's a good
just
product, not just some random shit.
Not random. And he also has his daughter to help and stuff like that too.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't expect it to. Yeah, but you know what? I'm gonna order it, find out.
Perfect.
Dude, it'll be worth it just for me to be
Just to have
able
it.
to put it right here and have a picture of it,
honestly, though.
or to post it on social media or give it a review. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Why not?
That'd
We'll
be
see
kinda
if
funny. Yeah,
is it
that'd be
real.
kinda funny. I like
Is
that.
it really, really good? Yeah. So, all right. I think I'll do that. But it's so funny, dude. He's
No,
He's
honestly,
got a
that's
great-
hilarious. Like I gotta love that. I'll be honest with you. I love that.
Pete Hegseth is looking like he's going to be making it through. One of the more difficult people he was going to have convincing to be on his side because he has to get at least 50. And then if needed, Vance could be the tiebreaker, right? And we only have 53. So we can only give up 3 votes. But he met with Joni Ernst twice, and she was going to be maybe the toughest one, and it looks like that went well. So, unless something else pops up, but they'll certainly try.
That's for sure. That is for sure.
They're not gonna stop doing that. But that looks better. And then there's also the thought, because he's maybe the hardest one of all of them to get confirmed.
Mm-hmm.
That if he goes through, everybody's going through.
You think so? Yeah. I mean, it makes sense because I mean, Pete's like the only person that has like a lot of dirt or like bad things on.
A lot of accusations.
Accusations. Thank you.
Yes, a lot of accusations, and a whole lot of them out there. Yeah, that was definitely like that. Also, since last show, the Syrian government, Assad, got overthrown, and him and his family booked it to Russia. Russia had backed the Assad government for a long time. I think he had been maybe 10 years. You know what that guy was? He was a dentist. Yeah.
Dentist.
Yeah, it's just, it just fell upon him in the, when his dad died, that he was next in line. But at the time, he was a dentist.
Huh.
Right?
What
And then he became a butcher or killed. Like, dude, the thing is with what's going on in Syria, the good guys or the government and then the rebels, there are no good guys. There are none.
Yeah.
And so what you basically hope for in a situation like that is just any kind of stability. If that makes sense. Do you know what I mean?
I get what you're saying.
Yeah, because
there's not an extreme on either end.
He's not a good dude. These rebels, really terrorist groups that include, I think, have links to Al Qaeda and shit. But collapsed. They, armed and overtook the city, and I don't know what'll be next.
There's been a lot of stuff going on in the background these past few months.
There is a lot of shit going on.
I mean, with the whole, I don't know if you even got into it, but like everyone is caught up currently with the whole assassination of that CEO. Everyone's so fascinated with whether or not it's actually him that got arrested, and I don't know if you've seen all that fun
come
stuff.
on, dude. All right.
I think that's like
Yeah, I was
what
going to
most
get to that
people
stuff
are
too.
like.
Here's my take.
Okay.
Okay, here's my take. I understand people's I understand people being upset with healthcare and insurance companies.
Okay.
Okay. I totally get it. Look, I told the story, right, of my knee brace
Yeah.
here on the show that, $1,000 knee brace, or I could pay out of my pocket $180.
Yeah.
And I finally got it covered under insurance, and my portion was $130. But the insurance company paid the remainder of almost, $1,000.
Yeah.
Which, how does it go from $1,000 being charged to the insurance company to me paying $180 out of pocket? If I wanted to go that way, and I didn't. I'm like, I'm not doing that. But it's ridiculous. Okay. And people have a good case to be made that something is obviously going on in this company, that when you compare this company to other companies and the amount of declining of service things, right? That they're in like the 30% range.
Wow.
When like the industry is as low as 6 and average is around 16. So I forget who the other one is, one of the worst ones too, but they are like on the list. They're one of if they're not the worst one, I don't know who's worse. Okay. And that's an issue. And I totally get that. What makes you a shitty motherfucking human being is cheering on the fact that he was murdered. Like, I'm all for, see, people protest the wrong shit, dude.
Yeah.
They protest the wrong shit. Be outside their offices. Where are the people that were protesting, 5-6 years ago? And, what was that even called? There was a name for it of the group, but it was financial shit and stuff. But I'm just saying this is, you protest people. This is what you should be protesting and bringing attention to, not violence, not destroying property, and not burning down small businesses or looting small businesses.
Yeah.
But I mean, genuinely protesting the way you're allowed to protest in this country and bring attention to this. And somebody with balls needs to stand up in the Senate and find somebody that's willing to stand up and, whatever committee or hearing or whatever. But just it's sickening to see people cheer or be happy that the dude was killed. It just is. I'm sorry. That's just fucked up, dude.
It's weird. Yeah, no, it definitely is.
Like, it's not that I don't have empathy for people that are denied things, and maybe
maybe he was a piece of shit, but that doesn't mean
I don't know. Look,
we don't know. Yeah,
he was just the head piece of shit. He's not doing that. Like, I don't know. He hasn't really been CEO that long. I think just 4 or 5 years, maybe. But there's a lot of people involved in making those policies, right? And people do have to understand that, we do need, even with Obamacare, we still need to do better and make changes in our health care.
A lot better.
A lot better. And you know what I'm for? I'm for not sending money to other countries and using that money to use some of that money to fix our health care for Americans. Figure out what it can't be that there's not enough money. Okay, it can't be.
That'd be a really
Because
dumb
we
excuse.
spend
Yeah.
the most amount of money per person on healthcare of any nation in the country. And yet we're somewhere in like low 40s or something ranked as far as
That whole
like
healthy wise.
yeah, or longevity or whatever.
Gotcha. Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Okay. That's fucked up, dude. But it's that way with education.
Yeah, it is.
Here's why I'm optimistic, though. Here's why I'm optimistic.
Okay.
I'm listening to people now. So you have these crazy fringe motherfuckers on the left, and they have a lot of them. There may be some fringe people on the right, but they're not that very many. But there's some. I'll say there's some. Okay. But there's now a whole bunch of people in the middle and even outer middle, which would probably be me, that are willing to work and talk with people on the other side who are more towards the middle and have conversations to find common ground on things we can fix instead of, well, I disagree with this person on abortion. So even though I agree with this person on what we should be doing for this provision of healthcare, I'm going to be against it because I'm against abortion. Does that make sense? Like,
yeah,
it's like
you're
these
connecting
camps.
two things that have
Yeah,
nothing to do with each other.
nothing.
Just because of like pure spite.
Right. And I'm hearing some people talk on the left, surprisingly, that want to sit at the table, that want to have discussions. I think I mentioned the Young Turks in one episode, right?
Yes. Last
Well,
episode,
there's a woman. I don't know the name of her name off the top of my head. I was just listening to it yesterday. It was a podcast by Glenn Beck, and I used to listen to Glenn Beck, but I haven't listened to Glenn in quite some time. But Glenn was interviewing this woman on his podcast that was part of, I don't know if she still is, but she was a part of the Young Turks.
Okay.
And just listening to her talk and how liberal she was, and then how that's changed, that she still is a liberal. Yeah, Anna Kasparin. Dude, it's a great, it's a really, really good interview. Like, I highly recommend people listen to this interview that are into this. You know, you can't just listen to people on your own motherfucking side. Okay, that just does not work. And there are people out there that are mostly like looking to find right answers.
Yeah.
And like, I can't believe I'm saying it. You know, I've heard Bernie Sanders say a couple things that I absolutely agree with. And I think he's a fucking Marxist. But there's a couple things, you know, when it's come to food labeling, for example, you know, that he's been pushing. Man, why would I not get in on that fight with him? I agree with him.
Yeah.
Well, that's
so there's no, just
like how about we do that, fix something. And here's the other, that people are looking at it and finally saying that this is what we're doing, it's not working, and this is what I've always done in both my personal life and my business life, and I haven't always done it quickly. Okay. I fucked up, but I learned from my fuck ups eventually, and I changed what I'm doing. And I went through periods where I didn't change what I was doing, and I kept getting the same shitty results until I changed what I was doing. Stop doing the shit that's not motherfucking working. Stop it.
Nice and simple. No.
Stop it. Stop it. If it's not working, and then when you try it a second and third time to make that work and it doesn't work, you keep going after that, that's insanity, because you're expecting different results. This is the formula. 1, 2, 3, result. 1, 2, 3, same result. 1, 2, 3, same result. Okay, you got to fucking change up what's coming in 1, 2, 3. because that result isn't going to change. We know what it produces now.
Yeah.
We've produced that result 3 fucking times. Stop it. Government programs that were well-intentioned,
Mhm.
that are not doing what, stop it. Stop it.
Yeah. Just because you had like a meaningful
Stop it.
like thing behind it doesn't
We'll
mean
put
that
that
it's so
money in a
good.
pot over here.
Yeah.
To be determined later. You know what I mean? But I think people are excited because think about it. Tulsi Gabbard was a Democrat.
Okay.
RFK, Democrat, became independent to run for president. I don't think Elon Musk hasn't always been a conservative. I don't know what kind of liberal he was, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You have these people that are melding, and like I've mentioned before, Trump isn't a traditional Republican. He's just not. And he was a Democrat.
Yeah.
So you have these people that, that's that middle I'm talking about, that are willing to talk to each other, and they're giving people hope. Like, they just have to produce some results, and I think they understand that quickly, because the more they can get results quickly, the more they're going to get people on board, buying into that they're going to get things done.
Yeah.
And to take away the scare tactics of the left. Oh my God, these people are going to be fired. Look, I've heard Elon Musk explain how he's going to do it. He's just not throwing people out in the street jobless.
Yeah.
There's going to be severance pay. There's going to be a process that these people are given to,
find their ways afterwards.
Yes.
Whatever.
Yes, dude. Yeah. It's not cruelty. Do you understand what I mean? But they're like, oh my God.
It's just because it's happening to them that they feel like the world is ending.
No, it's just because they just need to attack and oppose Trump. It's just because they need to oppose him. There's that group that just still doesn't get anything about what happened in this election, and still it's oppose everything. That's their whole thing. But there are more people now than ever before that are saying, hey, wait a minute. Or like I said, Sink from the Young Turks, or how about the union boss, the president of Teamsters, even, right? Like, he spoke at the Republican convention. They didn't endorse Trump. They also didn't endorse Kamala Harris, right? So, like, that's Sean O'Brien is smart enough to say, hey, at least this guy is willing to take my phone call. At least I get to share my views. I'm getting to sit at the table.
Yeah.
He even let me speak and let me say whatever I wanted. They didn't curtail his speech. He gave a union type speech. Dude, like, people are seeing that. Like, that really is Trump. He that's how he works.
Yeah.
And you have other people that don't want to give him a chance, but here's, like, why shouldn't I give him a chance? He listened to me. The Democrats didn't call Sean O'Brien to do any of that. Even after this, that now they're extra mad at him. Because that's how they operate.
Yeah.
That's how they operate, is if you don't stay in line on every single issue, you suck. You're gone. And for the first time, the Republican Party is, you don't have to agree on anything. If we can agree on 60 to 70% of stuff, and all of us are going to have a 30% that's different than this group here, or this group here, or this group here in the party. But if we focus on the positive stuff where we agree and just work together, like, come on in.
Yeah.
Come on in. Just do that. It's just huge, huge change. And a big, big opportunity. And I think in this country, we have a history of, we eventually get it right. We fuck up, but when we exhaust all other options, we do the right thing. And that's okay. I think that's a good thing. We will eventually do the right thing, and this is that time. And if we don't do it now, it's like, I don't know if there's a comeback. It's just all we can do is delay a day of reckoning
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
where things will collapse. You can put that, but if we don't get, you just cannot continue with these trillions and trillions of, it doesn't work. That math doesn't math, right?
Yeah.
It just doesn't. No matter who's president.
Yeah. Math doesn't change depending on who's running the place. Yeah.
Mm-mm. It doesn't. So there, you have that. A lot of interesting things. We talked about the CEO. Oh. I said there would be riots,
Yes.
right? I was thinking there would be riots over the election. Maybe that'll still happen by Inauguration Day or on Inauguration Day. I don't know. And I'd be happy to be wrong and there not be riots. Don't get me wrong. I don't want there to be riots. Or there might be riots for a whole nother reason.
Why is that?
Race riots again. BLM again. Daniel Penny. Do you know who Daniel Penny is? Okay. Daniel Penny is a vet who is a hero. He's a hero. To many of us, what he did was an act of heroism. And the act wasn't killing somebody. The act of heroism was protecting other people around him that couldn't protect themselves. Okay? So he was taking some class, okay, because he was in the military, and I think he was using the GI Bill or whatever, and he was taking a class, and he was riding the subway to the class.
Okay.
And he gets on the subway, and there's a guy yelling and screaming and threatening people that's a schizophrenic, diagnosed schizophrenic, right? And someone who wasn't just a schizophrenic, but was high. This is somebody who had been charged 44 times. This Jordan Neely was a fucked up individual and needed help, and he didn't get the help. Okay? If they want to be mad at something, don't be mad at Daniel Penny because he put the guy in a chokehold, and after the chokehold, at some point, he died. This is a man who broke a woman's jaw and was charged, who also hit an old man, that was a 64-year-old man. This is a guy who kidnapped a 7-year-old girl. Like, dude, I don't even know how this guy's out or not in a jail mental health type facility. Or you just know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it's fucked up, dude. And if people want to be mad, stop yelling racism. This had nothing to do with race, but now we have the dad who's a fucking moron, and we have the New York leader of BLM, stirring shit up. For this wasn't, dude, there was another person that helped him hold Jordan Neely down. You know what that guy's skin color was? Black. People who were being threatened were people of all colors. It just, the guy should have never been charged. And he was. They have the trial. The jury deadlocks on the highest charge. but they also had a lesser charge, and they did that on purpose. So then the judge removed the higher charge and had the jury go back in and deliberate on the lesser charge. The jury did not deadlock again. They acquitted him. And then I've heard part of the dad's speech, which goes on about the KKK. Dude, I still look, I'm not saying the KKK isn't a thing anymore.
It's definitely still a thing.
Where though? Where? Because it's probably, I don't know when the last one was, but like growing up, let's say I'm 56. The first 30, 40 years of my life, every 4 or 5 years or so,
Mhm.
like 8 Klansmen would come to Toledo and try to have a parade and get everybody upset. Okay. And they would get a permit and apply for a permit, and they're allowed to. And then you would have the counter protesters and you'd have some shit, right? Dude, I haven't seen that, man. And the stuff that we have seen, some of it that we've seen are, well, like turned out to be lies where like some people like painted something, but it wasn't the people that they said it was those people that
Gotcha.
painted it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like somebody acting like they're targeted or something at
Yeah.
a university, and they make some racial slur, and it was that person that did it. It wasn't actually a racist person that painted it.
Gotcha.
It's stupid shit like that.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's not a thing, dude,
Yeah.
but it's not a thing like it was.
Yeah.
I mean, you just don't. What are they doing? Where are they meeting? Like, you don't hear about that shit, dude. They're not that great at being secretive, dude. You don't understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't, it's just not a thing like it was. And try to paint this young man like he's the leader of some type of white supremacist movement. Like it just had nothing to do. It had nothing to do with race, man. How about this? I don't know the name off the top of my head, but there was another case in New York, same place in New York on the subway, right? Where a black man did the same thing like Daniel Penny like did like a year or so before that, and where the guy died.
Yeah.
And he didn't get charged. Yeah, how about that, dude? You see what I'm saying? Because it wasn't race, man. And he shouldn't have been charged, and he wasn't. But Daniel Penny was. And that's and here's another example. The mayor of New York, Mayor Adams. You know, he's a liberal, but he's also asking for help and willing to talk and listen to the Trump administration and people there and work with them on safety for New York. And he knows Trump loves New York, right?
Yeah.
Like Trump will, that's Trump's town. He loves New York, even though he doesn't live there anymore. You know, he has a place there, but you know, his home is basically in Florida.
Yeah.
He will always love New York. And he wants New York to do well. He wants New York to be one of the best cities anywhere in the world. And that comes with public safety, people feeling good to be able to come there and not be accosted, you know? And Adams wants help with those things. And dude, that's what we need to be doing. Do you see what I'm saying? You can't just say, I'm not going to talk to that guy because he's a Democrat. That's just dumb.
That's stupid. Yeah.
But there's still a lot on the other side that don't want to, then don't participate. But I'm glad to see there are some, and I'm finding them that are like, where can we agree? Where can we make some changes? What can we do? What can I participate in that's going to get the change that I want and not focus on the party? Because I think people are sick of that shit. They are, I think.
Yeah. I mean, that was like one of my biggest reasons why I never really chose left or right was because of that, right? Like I feel like I don't need to choose a party to be like, hey, I'll listen. I agree with that or I disagree with that. Doesn't mean that I have to like commit
The
to.
reason I'm still a member of the Republican Party's changed
Mm-hmm.
because I started out young, like
Yeah.
a more traditional Republican.
Mhm.
But by my mid-20s, I was not traditional. I stayed in the Republican Party because I wanted what's happening now. There's only two parties. Pick one and change it.
Yeah.
What are the other options? Like this, if I want change, you got to change. And I'm happy to see those changes. I'm happy to see the elites because I can't stand Republican elites. I almost can't stand them more than Democrats because I just at this point I just despise them.
The way they
they're
run the
just
place.
they're the worst kind of hypocrites and just awful, awful. And they're ones who enrich themselves.
And fuck everyone else over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look, I'm all about making your money,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm not about making your money like that. That's not
Like,
how
do it
like
right.
it's no different than when I was in the financial business. There were financial products that paid a higher commission.
Yeah.
That I could have sold legally as long as I made all the proper disclosures.
Yeah. But then you're just
But
fucking
every
someone else.
client took my recommendations because they trusted me. And they would have trusted me on that, and I would have made the money. And they may or may not have been happy or known or whatever at all. But I knew it was a bad product. I knew it was a shitty product for the client, that it was a legal product,
Yeah.
financial product for them to be in, but it was a garbage product because of whatever the contract of the product was inside about how
Gotcha.
long you had to be invested, what the potential penalties were, and I probably could have made even more money that way. And I saw people do it. And I saw people be financially successful selling really shitty stuff. And it made my stomach turn, dude.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it. And how I operate now. Like there is nobody in the consulting or in the business that I am now, that talks about peptides and protocols for testosterone and things like that. There is nobody out there like me in the whole fucking country. I'm not bragging. I'm just telling you, there's nobody that literally talks people out of shit. Don't send me money. Like, yeah, I know you read. Yeah, I know you're gym bro. Yeah, I know here's why you don't need that. Now, I could disagree and say, yeah, and just take their money.
Yeah.
But I don't. I tell literally because, and I'm honest, I want your money 20 times because you're happy and satisfied and you get the results. I don't want your money once. I don't need to take your money once and for you to get screwed over.
Yeah.
I don't want to screw you over because it's easier to maintain and build a good relationship once you have it, and work on that, and then get referrals and stuff. People coming your way without working for them because you're doing the right thing, than it is to always having to replace a client because you screwed somebody over.
Yeah.
That's just dumb. And I've never operated that way in anything I've ever done. I just can't do it. There's even, and I'll say it, I'm going to put it out there this way and people can figure it out. But I do some stuff with a supplement company,
Mm-hmm.
and they have a product now that I think is bullshit. And I explained how that products like this that make this claim about being similar, being like somehow like a natural Ozempic, okay?
Okay.
About how that's not a real thing. And then the ingredient that they include, that they claim, is berberine. Well, I finally got a hold of the ingredients for the company's product. Guess what it has in it?
Like,
Berberine.
yeah,
Exactly what I
the
said,
exact same
dude.
thing.
Exactly what I said it would have in it. And I love their other products. I love how they do their testing and stuff. If somebody buys it, it's because they buy it on their own, not because I told them to. You know, clients that I have in my
Yeah.
network marketing. That's on them. I will not be talking about it or recommending it to a single person. I just won't, because I don't believe in it. So, man, we spit out a lot of stuff already, didn't we?
Just
There's
a few,
just
just a few
so
topics.
much
There's
stuff,
a lot going on,
dude.
yeah.
There's just a lot going on. And we talked zero about college football.
We got zero football.
Yeah, we'll save that maybe for the next one.
Oh, we'll be back tomorrow.
We'll talk about the bracket. Yeah, dude, I'm an Alabama fan. I'm not upset that Alabama didn't get in.
Yeah.
Do I think Alabama should have gotten in? The only people that don't think they should have gotten in are really Alabama haters.
Yeah. The people
Because
against
you
Alabama.
can't tell me that SMU was more deserving. Why? Because they only had 2 losses? They lost to a 9-3 team. They lost to Clemson. So there is another 3-loss team in it, but it's Clemson. But Clemson gets in because they won the conference, which means they won a weak conference. That's the thing. It's the ACC is not as strong as the Big Ten, and the Big Ten is still not as strong as the SEC. They're stronger than they have been in the past, with the addition of, Washington and USC and Oregon, and that's great. That's great. I'm super cool about that. But
doesn't take them to the
I
level.
will say this, it's kind of a cool matchup. I think Notre Dame should have been ranked a little bit higher, but they will have a home game, and their home game is going to be against Indiana. So Indiana school versus Indiana school is kind of cool. But Notre Dame would really have to lay an egg
to get out
to
of it.
lose.
Yeah.
Like, Indiana lost one game, and the one game they lost was literally to the only good team they played. They didn't play a good team besides Penn State, and I think Penn State's still a fraud. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you're killing me here. So, yeah, it is what it is. Alabama fucked up, especially their last game. I give it that. But people can enjoy hating. That's what they like to do.
People really
They love to
really
do that.
love
That's
to do
good.
that
So
nowadays.
enjoy that. that another SEC team is gonna. No, actually, the truly the best team right now is Oregon. They're the best.
I mean,
team.
yeah, it's kind of hard to argue with that.
Yeah,
it really is. I mean,
I just don't have faith in Ewers for Texas and Georgia. If they're playing how Georgia can play, then maybe. I think Georgia is the next biggest threat, because when they're on, they are really on, and they are good in that defense. But they just weren't consistent. You just don't know that you're always going to get that. And I don't know that it really hurts them that much that Carson Beck, I don't know if he'll be back or make it or not, because
I mean,
they have a stud back there. Yeah. They have a stud. And so does Texas, dude. Dude, I can't believe that Arch Manning is set on the bench for 2 years and that he was okay with it. But obviously, his parents and the Manning family think that's a good thing, and okay.
Let them do their thing.
They know, like, it's the most successful. When you have a father and 2 sons who all played in the NFL, and have won Super Bowls. The father didn't win the Super Bowl, but like it's undeniable. They
have their way.
They know they're gonna guide him what they feel is best. Hey, what? I got shit to say about that. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I'm smart that way. There's no good argument for that.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, there's just been times just with the way that Ewers played, you just
don't know.
You just look at that. Yeah, next year, I mean, think about it. Somebody who hasn't played very much will start next year, and before he's played a game, will likely be, has never started a game, will likely be the leading candidate for the Heisman Trophy.
Wow.
Right? That's something. So yeah, we'll talk about that. There's Arizona State, because that was so
Good
fun.
old Arizona.
Scatimo, baby.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I love that kid. So fun to watch. And I was hoping he was going to come back next year, but he's not. He's going to the NFL. Because if he came back next year, he would be a leading candidate for sure for the Heisman.
Yeah.
You know, so that's all interesting. But all good stuff. But we'll leave that for another show, because we got more stuff to talk about, more stuff to unpack. And that's what we're going to keep doing. We appreciate you all for the time you give us, especially during this holiday season when you're really super busy. But, you know, throw the podcast on in the background. You can hear me rant and rave. But it's a good life. All right. This is the Outlaw Apostle Podcast. I'm Troy Neff, your host. I'm the fucking guy.
Who knew I would make it this far? They hated, they never believe me. Yeah, I would never drop the ball. I know I make it look easy. Yeah, Mayweather with the defense. I don't care what a critic got to say. I got them picking up the pieces. That to me, you really playing with your life.